All right, welcome everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 22nd of November, 2023, and this is the SIG Cloud Provider community meeting. SIG Cloud Provider is a sub-project of Kubernetes SIGs, and as such, we follow their meeting guidelines, which basically means, please treat everyone as you would expect to be treated, or explicitly so. Please be kind to each other. And if you'd like to talk, please raise your hand and I'll call on you. Although there's only 4 of us in here right now, so it's probably not a big deal. All right, so let's see. I don't see any sub-project updates, but we'll just go through here quickly with the folks who are on. I guess, Kirthan, any update on AWS?
Nothing major, but just like we had created, we had created new releases with recent CV patch fixes, like for 123 onwards to 128. So.
Cool, thank you. I guess, Andrew, any update on the GCP side?
Nope, not that I'm aware of.
All right, cool. All right, well, we can go right into the agenda then. Grant had brought this issue, although this is specifically about Azure, so we don't have an Azure contact here today. Is it still worth going through this issue, Grant, or would you prefer to wait until we have some folks from Microsoft here?
Unless anybody specifically has any thoughts, this is very specific to Azure's NSG architecture, so I think it's okay to bump it if no one has any initial thoughts. But I mean, I guess the premise is just we want to be able to use more CIDRs and make the for the load balancer source ranges part of the service object. We want to be able to use more CIDRs in that object. And right now it's not as efficient as it could be potentially because the total number of NSG rules is 1,000, whereas you can have a total number of CIDRs in NSG be 4,000. But right now, one NSG rule gets created per CIDR, and we're just looking to explore whether we could, instead of making one rule per CIDR, make one rule and append each CIDR to the same NSG rule, so we could increase the limit of CIDRs total.
All right, I don't know if anybody here has thoughts on it, but just I'll open the floor up in case anyone wants to comment.
So I know, like, with Thanksgiving, I'm sure a lot of people are away, but we at least know the Azure folks to ping in the issue at least, right? I guess it'd be Bridget and Ping Fei, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, well, Ping Fei is in Asia time zone, but if we just CC him now, he might be able to see it and give a faster reply than waiting for the next SIG meeting. But we can always, but yeah, like I have no context, so I don't have anything to say, but we could also defer to the next meeting when Bridget's, is Bridget gonna be, I remember she was saying that there's a bunch of meetings that she won't be attending because of holidays and whatnot. I don't remember if she said the next meeting she'll be. Oh no, it's on the agenda. She said she'll be here December 6th. So if we want to bring it up when she's back.
Okay, well, there's at least a little comment pinging Peng Fei and Bridget, and maybe we can talk about it on the 6th as well.
There's no API changes needed for this, right? Like the load balancer source ranges is a list, right? So in terms of like, I guess like one reason why it might be good to talk about it like right now is if there are changes to the service API that needs to happen to support something like this, or if it's strictly like some validation or rules applied on the Azure provider that are limiting it. It sounds like it's an Azure provider thing.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I think if anything, maybe there would be a new annotation that would change the functionality potentially. Because if this is not a compatible change, then they could just do it by default. Maybe there would be an annotation that would change that, but I don't foresee any change to the service API that this would involve.
Okay. Is the problem basically that like you can specify multiple load balance source ranges, but it just takes the first one and ignores the rest? Is that basically the problem?
Not really. The problem is mainly efficiency with Azure. So we want to consolidate the roles. There's an NSG, the network security group, and then there's NSG roles.
Mhm.
We want to consolidate all the CIDRs into one NSG role so we can have a larger max limit of CIDRs.
Oh, I see. Okay. So like I see. So if you put like 12 entries in your load balance source ranges, it creates like 12 different rules, or 12 different NSGs with one rule each.
12 different NSG roles inside one NSG.
One NSG, okay.
Right.
But oh, I see. But rules can have multiple CIDRs. So you're saying it can consolidate into one rule with just containing all the CIDRs.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So very specific to Azure, I would say.
Okay. Well, I mean, Andrew, thanks for engaging on this, and Grant, thanks for bringing the topic here. I guess we'll just talk about it again at the next meeting, and I presume Bridget will be there for that one. So, although due to time zones, I'm guessing that Peng Fei won't make that meeting. Okay. I guess if there's nothing else on that topic, we can look at the triage quickly to see if there's anything open.
Oh, I guess should we talk about the blog post real quick?
Oh yeah.
What we should give ourselves like a deadline to write that. I saw you mentioned you put the placeholder PR in there. So thanks for doing that.
I was gonna, I'll grab a link for that. So I have been communicating with a few people from Kubernetes about this blog post. This is basically going to be a blog post that goes along with the beta status change for the disabling in-tree provider cap. I think if we can get it written next week or at the latest the week after that, that should be enough time for reviews and everything. So I was going to plan to like take a stab at writing this like early next week and then share it with the SIG to get like reviews or input. Unless other folks would like to be involved in that, I'm happy to share or collaborate if folks would like. And then I got confirmation today. I think we're planned to be the last blog post for 1.29. So the release date for the blog post would be December 20th. So I think if we can get it done next week, that's ideal. It gives the reviewers, I think, 2 weeks, a little more than 2 weeks to review it and everything. But if we have to go longer than that, it's okay.
Okay. So I think one important, so we could probably collaborate like once on the doc. But I think an important thing to know. Also, do you mind putting those dates like in the agenda so I can just check later? But I think it's important to put in the blog post like reference out to docs that the providers have on how to migrate. And if the providers don't have it, like kind of use the blog post as leverage to write something. Like Google Cloud, for example, I think there's some docs on it, but it might need some polishing. So now would be a good time to kind of like poke the right people to update those. And then I don't know what the process is, but like I also wonder if it's possible for our blog to be published closer to the release date. I don't even know when the release date is, so maybe it's not realistic. But my assumption is that this should be somewhere on the top of the release notes because it's technically a breaking change, and so the more like impactful the changes, the earlier the comms is better, I guess. So I'm not sure how to reason about that. Maybe we need to talk to the release team. But it'd be good to just, if possible, like squeeze it into an earlier date.
So that's a great point. And in the release notes part, I've made it explicitly clear that this is a breaking change and that users will need to know about this. So I've highlighted it there, and I've had an ack back from the people writing the release notes that they've seen my message, and they realize that we've marked that as like people need to know about this.
Yeah.
So I know we've gotten an ack back there. In terms of the blog post, I mean, some of this, I guess, is like on me because like I've been trying to work with them. You know, they've been asking for the blog post, and I realize we're getting short on time, but like I have not had any time to make progress on it. So like if we could get the blog post done sooner, we probably could have had an earlier release date. But what I've been shown recently, and I'm not sure like how public this is, but like there's a spreadsheet somewhere that has the planning for when these blog posts will go out, and it looks like they've got them all scheduled like from December 11th through December 20th, and we are currently listed as the December 20th release. And I think a lot of that is because I've been pushing back and saying that we're not ready with this content yet. So
I guess
there's a great concern, Andrew. I'm not sure how much more we could push though.
Yeah, I guess and like not your fault or not really anyone's fault. I've been like really busy with KubeCon and other stuff, and so like haven't had the time to focus on this. Thanks, Grant. I guess what I would want to ask the release team is like, it like, let's say we want to release, let's say we want to publish this blog post like on the first day or like as early as possible. What's the deadline for us to have the blog completed? Like if like theoretically, if we can write the blog today, would they say, okay, your blog's done, so we can publish on the 11th? So like if they can give us a rough deadline of when the blog should be done, for them to like move the blog publish date closer to the release date, I think that would help us like figure out how much time to spend on it. Because I wouldn't want to like prioritize this right now if I do a bunch of work now and then they don't move the actual blog date for us. So maybe if we can land on some agreement with them, like have the blog ready by like maybe like 1st of December or something like that, then they'll push it like earlier or something. I don't know.
I will follow up on that. Then the next thing will be like I think we would want to get the PR up like Monday or Tuesday next week so that because what they've told me is they need some lead time to review it and everything. So like I'll go back and talk with Kroll, and I think Tim was the other person. I'll go back and talk with them and just say like, hey, look, like if we can get this done, we think this is really important and needs to go first. Like if we can get this done sooner, can we get it out earlier in the release process?
Yeah.
We'll just see what happens then.
Okay.
But then like what I'll probably do is like, and like, I don't know where I'm going to get the time for this, but Monday I will start writing something, and I'll probably ping you on Monday, Andrew, just to like get, just to get some collaboration going.
Okay. Yeah. Keep me updated on the dates, and like if you can share, I don't know if you already started a doc, but
I didn't.
if you can, if you can share like a doc link with me, like I don't have Thanksgiving because in Canada we have Thanksgiving back in October,
Oh, right,
So
right. Yeah.
I'm actually working all week. But then like I'm hoping to submit some proposals for KubeCon, which is the deadline's like this Sunday, and like I have
Right.
other internal stuff. So I can try to prioritize it ahead of Monday so that come Monday we might have like something to work with. But
Okay.
no promises. But like share the link with me and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. I want to like just flip the script here since I'm probably going to leave the office like in the next hour or so anyways. Why don't, if you get the time to start something, why don't you make a Google Doc and share it with me? And if I
Okay.
don't see anything by Monday, I'll start something and share it with you.
Okay, sounds great. Sounds great.
All right, cool. Thanks for working with me. Okay, so I'll write that down here. All right, cool. Any other questions or comments about the blog post topic? And thanks for bringing that up, Andrews. Good call. All right, let's look at the open issues that are, I think these are the ones that don't have, that need triage. So we have this one open last week, or a couple open, looks like last week. Okay, I think this was the GCP flaking test. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
Is this the one that's like failing to restart? Failing to reboot, or is it a different one?
It's a good. Can you read this? Like, is it?
Yeah, I can read it. It's just too much text. God, I just have like no capacity to look at failing tests right now.
Yeah. I
but
wouldn't
like
even know where to start with this.
yeah. No,
Unfortunately.
like it'd be. I mean, are these release blocking? Like maybe it's good to just look at release blocking ones and then prioritize from there.
This is not release blocking though, right?
Okay, then let's look at it next time.
Okay, yeah.
And I agree with Antonio. The service controller is actually never mind.
Okay. So what was the other one? ED framework should have Azure SSH support, but still root. I mean, so this sounds like this is going to be an Azure thing, and no one from Azure is available today.
Yeah, I don't think Bridget would mind if we assign it to her.
Okay.
Follow up.
Is it triage accepted? I always get this wrong. It's like, is it like that?
I think so.
I feel like I go through this every time I have to do triage. All right, let's just make sure that it adds that.
Maybe there's no dash, it's space instead.
I always get it wrong.
Stupid bot can't just fix it.
Did I? Oh, yeah, there's no dash, of course. Okay, and I think that was it. The other ones were old, back to 2021.
Okay.
Okay. I guess, are there any other last minute topics or things people would like to say before we close up here?
I guess one thing to call out is I know we just came back from KubeCon, but given the KubeCon submissions are due like end of this week for Paris, I imagine like usually it's like a month or something like that after the submission that then the maintainer track sessions open up. So we should just keep that in the back of our minds. Think about it. Probably like when the new year kicks off is probably around the time we'll have to submit something. So
I think that's a great idea. Thinking about this earlier rather than later definitely gives us good opportunity to kind of come up with deeper topics. So yeah. Okay. Anything else folks want to talk about?
nope. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the turkey.
Thanks, Andrew. All right. Have a good one, everybody. And I guess we'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.